St. Louis Cardinals dominate en route to an 11th straight victory, their third in a row over the Milwaukee Brewers, securing a series win. Miles Mikolas was dominant on Wednesday. The offense exploded. Lots of good things to talk about on today's episode of Locked On Cardinals, so let's get right into it for this Thursday's edition.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every single day. We are free on your every single podcasting platform and on YouTube as well. I am Lucas Smith, host of Locked On Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for making the first listen of your day, or even if having the last listen of your day. Thanks for tuning in today for Thursday's edition, September the 23rd of 2021, as the Cardinals have won 11 in a row. And like I said, they have secured themselves a series win over the Milwaukee Brewers already in a 4-game set as they look for a sweep today and an Adam Wainwright start. We'll get to that a little bit later on as we're going to talk about the game that was Wednesday's game as the Cardinals dominate. Miles Mikolas dominates, offense explodes. So many good things. This team is giving us a lot of good things to talk about, a lot of good things to be excited about as well. Be sure to listen to or watch Locked On MLB on YouTube or your favorite podcasting platforms, as well as our pal Sully brings us up to date on the majors, bringing in the past and present perspective as well. So head over to Sully's podcast after you're done listening to Locked On Cardinals. We're going to talk about some Miles Mikolas today. Also talk about the offense and how impressive that was, and kind of put this whole winning streak, try to anyways, put it in perspective. And I got a tweet to share that might make some of us happy in terms of what do we think of when we think this team. So all that and more coming up on today's show. So let's go ahead and get right into it with some Miles Mikolas talk. Miles Mikolas was extremely efficient, extremely solid last night as he goes 7 strong, gives up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, strikes out 3, gives up 1 home run. He was pitching like he was in 2018. That was the start that he did last night was a typical 2018 Miles Mikolas start. Deep into a game, less than 3 earned runs, didn't strike out a ton, but got out and was efficient, and 0 walks. That's the big part as well. He even said post-game that he felt like his old self, getting to 2 strikes and then getting somebody to ground out to shortstop, paraphrasing that quote, of course. But Mikolas pitched like he did 3 years ago. The ace level that we saw in 2018, we saw a glimpse of that on Wednesday night. And that is huge for the St. Louis Cardinals going forward, especially if they're able to get past that wild card game that they're inevitably playing for, unless the Cardinals happen to win out and the Brewers happen to lose out, which that seems to be trending that way, believe it or not. The Cardinals are still mathematically in contention for the Central Division. But if Miles Mikolas is able to pitch like he did in 2018 when he won 18 games and had an ERA sub-3, that's another starter for this Cardinal team to rely on. That's not named Adam Wainwright. You've got Adam Wainwright. You've got John Lester that has pitched pretty well. J.A. Happ. Jake Woodford also turned in a nice start. The fewer amounts of question marks you have on your team, the better off you are, because now the Cardinals are starting to find themselves having fewer and fewer and fewer question marks on their team as they start to get closer to postseason play, and it starts to get more and more realistic that the Cardinals might make the postseason, and it also making themselves a little bit more of a legitimate postseason threat. If I'm anybody, I would not want to be playing the St. Louis Cardinals. Even if they haven't won 11 in a row, the type of baseball they've been playing in September warrants some validity to the team right now. But anyways, I'm getting off track a little bit. Miles Mikolas, he's not going to strike out the world. His stuff maybe isn't super flashy, but he's going to throw strikes and he's going to get outs. Arm Layton, host of Locked On Marlins and Locked On MLB Prospects, retweeted my tweet about Miles Mikolas' line and said, if that's real, then you could start taking the Cardinals seriously. Paraphrasing, go find them on Twitter. Miles Mikolas extends this rotation out, another starter that you have to be afraid of and you have to prepare for very, very well. If he's able to do that, and again, I get that it's only one start, and it's very easy right now. The Cardinals are flying high. It's easy for emotions to get high and say that, this Miles Mikolas is going to be dominant every single start. So first off, we all need to collectively, myself as well, maybe take a step back and realize that it was just one start Very solid start. Not trying to take anything away from that start, but it was just one start. So let's see what we can get. But also, kind of taking the other side of the approach, he had a very good start his time before that as well, going 5 2/3 innings, getting the Cardinals deep enough into a game as well. His start prior to the start on Wednesday. So it might be a bit of a pattern starting to develop, if you're catching my drift. That if Miles Mikolas is able to go 5 to 7 innings and give up 0 to 2, maybe 0 to 3, if you want to go that high, earn runs, then you start seeing more and more successful starts. Those are the kind of starts that Miles Mikolas gave you in 2018. Those are the kind of starts that he expects to give and that the Cardinals need to get from him down the stretch, because the work is not over. Cardinals magic number is down to 8. The elimination number, rather, on the other two wildcard teams going forward. So it's getting there. The Cardinals are definitely getting there. Down to 7 now, rather, as a couple finals just came in right there. Updated on MLB.com. So down to 7 is the elimination number for the wildcard teams behind the Cardinals. Beg your pardon. Still work to be done, though, because any team, obviously the Cardinals, one of them, can get hot. So Miles Mikolas needs to continue to give these kinds of starts, but it's a huge positive if Miles Mikolas is able to do these kinds of starts. It saves the bullpen. It, like I said, adds another starter. This Cardinal team has relied on pitching the entire year. When this team pitches well, they win. If you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. I'm sure that you loyal listeners of Locked On Cardinals might be getting annoyed at that phrase at this point, but it remains true. They pitched on Tuesday, they won. They pitched on Wednesday, they won. They've pitched almost entirely, every single game this winning streak. They've pitched extremely well, and they've won. Yes, the offense has been numerous amounts better than they have been throughout the rest of the season, but this pitching staff still continues to impress day in and day out. Every single day, we've got somebody to talk about that had a positive performance. Even when the Cardinals allowed 7 runs on Sunday to the Padres, you could say that the bullpen bent a lot but didn't break, right? And Miles Mikolas just adds another name to that list, had a really solid start, and now you have something even more tangible, even more than just a 5 1/3 solid start to build off of. Now you have a tangible, concrete, really, really good start to build off of with a shutout performance, or a 2-run performance, rather, against these Milwaukee Brewers. Like I said, I know that they might not be the Dodgers or the Giants of the world, but it's still a playoff team. They've secured their postseason berth already. This team can hit the baseball. And the Cardinals pitching staff is shutting them down right now and outplaying them really in every single fashion. And they outplayed them last night offensively as well. And I want to get into that. Wrapping up the point once again, tying a bow on the point about Miles Mikolas. These are the kind of starts when the Cardinals need to get from Miles Mikolas. Period. End of story. Especially with the contract the Cardinals signed him to. Time to start living up to that contract. He's healthy. He's ready to go. We'll see if he can pitch well down the stretch as he did last night for the St. Louis Cardinals. Got to take one of our 2 ad breaks, and then I'll get into the offensive performance of the Cardinals that was straight up dominating, as well as give my thoughts a little bit more on the bullpen and how the Cardinals can continue to pitch well, share a tweet, share some perspective on the winning streak, all that and more, all good stuff coming up in just a moment. But first, we've got a problem that I want to try and help you solve. A lot of us have one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows, you're watching sports highlights on your phone, you've got your neighbor's best friends log in for the really good stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's a simple way to get your TV together and get all your entertainment you love all in one place, and that is DirecTV Stream. It brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. No more juggling remotes or need to buy another device ever again. The best part? No annual contract. Get rid of the clutter, the confusion, and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That is directtv.com. Compatible device is required. Content varies by package. I know that we're all really excited about the Cardinals' winning streak right now, but we still need our rest. And how can you get a good rest? That starts with a good mattress. Some elite athletes use the Molecule mattress, and they've called it their best sleep ever. A Pro Bowl quarterback, Olympic swimmer, a national women's soccer star. I'm no elite athlete, but I'm active and I need some rest, and Molecule mattress is the way to go. Molecule sleep scientists literally created the world's most perfect mattress. It's unlike any other mattress in a box. It is cool to the touch, not like other foam mattresses. It has 6 times the airflow of old mattresses, so it keeps you cool at night. It has zone reflex layers that adjust in all weird sleep positions so you never awaken with a stiff neck or sore back, and it's antimicrobial. Molecule Mattress is how elite athletes get the best sleep ever. Get your sleep or Molecule Mattress risk-free for 100 nights. If you don't have your deepest, most restorative sleep ever, return it. Visit onmolecule.com and save 20% with promo code Locked On. Again, save 20% with promo code Locked On at molecule.com. Anytime you put up 10 runs as an offense, it is a good night, especially when you do it on the road against a division foe, and that is exactly what the Cardinals did on Wednesday night. If you missed the scoring, here's how it got started. Tyler O'Neill, 2-run bomb in the top half of the first. Tommy Edman scored not one but two on a sacrifice fly. Get to that in a moment. Tyler O'Neill had a double because if he didn't have enough RBI already. Nolan Arenado had a double as well. He also had a sacrifice fly on the top of the fourth. Harrison Bader had a double, and to cap it all off, Paul Goldschmidt had a 2-run bomb that was only measured at 433 feet, but that thing was absolutely smoked. So lots of good things from the Cardinal offense. They scored 10 times, as I mentioned, 15 hits, scored in the first, second, fourth, seventh, and eighth innings. That is 5 of the 9 innings played. The Cardinals got some runs in. Every single starter had a hit outside of Miles Mikolas. All in all, an extremely productive night for the Redbird offense. Some doubles, some home runs. This is the kind of offense that I think the Cardinals have expected the entire year. This is the kind of offense that Mike Shildt thought that he had earlier in the season. This is the kind of offense that the Cardinals front office thinks, okay, this is how we're going to get it done. I'm not saying the Cardinals, that this offense has the capability of scoring 10 runs every single night, but I am saying that this is the kind of offense that can dominate a game. You've got Tyler O'Neill on a roll, Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado getting on a roll as well. Harrison Bader can take over a game any given night. Edmundo Sosa provides an exceptional spark as well. Tommy Edman, the catalyst at the top. The names on this team, now, especially now that they're winning baseball games, lead you to believe that this offense can be legit. Again, maybe not 10 runs a game, obviously, but enough to get the job done. They got the job done last night, manufacturing runs, and Wednesday night they were able to just slug their way to a victory. Plain and simple. The Cardinals are outplaying the Brewers every single facet of the game. No question about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Offensively, from the pitching standpoint, fielding, you name it. Incredible. And they're doing the things that not a lot of teams do as well. You don't always see a 2-run sacrifice fly, and that's exactly what Harrison Bader's speed allowed the Cardinals to get on Wednesday night. Tommy Edman hit a drive to right center. Lorenzo Cain made a very nice leaping catch at the wall, and Harrison Bader scored from second base. Lorenzo Cain did the right thing, flipping the ball to the right fielder that came over, and they tried to get him at the plate, but Bader was just too darn fast. This is a team, when right, that can dominate. When right. And again, that is a huge, huge when, but a huge if they're right. It's not going to happen every night, but this offense right now is on an absolute roll. On an absolute roll. There's no question. I know they scored 2 runs on Tuesday night, but those will happen. Those nights will happen. Overall, a team wins 11 games in a row. You can't tell me that offense is not playing very well. You just can't tell me it. And right now, especially with the Cardinal offense on a roll like they are, it's remarkable to see. As I mentioned before, this is the offense that the Cardinals have been needing and dying for and thought they've had the entire year, and they are coming out at the perfect time. The perfect time. Got one more game with the Brewers, a 4-game series this weekend with the Cubs with a doubleheader on Friday, and then another series with the Brewers and Cubs to finish out the season before October starts. Before postseason play, I should say. The Cardinals do play the Cubs in October before the postseason starts. You could not have asked for a better time for this offense to click, for this team in general as a whole to gel together and to click. This is timing at its finest. Timing at its absolute finest. There's no question. Another team that had some pretty good timing were the St. Louis Cardinals. Had a response to one of my tweets saying that they felt this is pretty eerily similar to the 2011 Cardinal team. And I 100% agreed with them. I'm not saying that this team is going to go on and win the World Series, especially with that second wild card game now, the one-game playoff that they're going to have to go through. That's going to be a tough game, whether you're playing the Giants or the Dodgers. Both teams are very good and should win a division in in a quote-unquote perfect world. But it was asked, Joshua Tripp, TUB, Tuba Guy 08, saying, I don't want to get my hopes up. However, this feels a lot like 2011. 100%. This team is getting hot at the right time. So many World Series teams are teams that are pretty solid, but just happen to get hot at the right time. I'm going to give you 3 years that I've talked about before on this show that you all know and might roll your eyes at. It's 1964, 2006, 2011. All three of those teams got hot at the right time, went to the World Series, won it. 2011 in glorious fashion. Had just had a 10-year celebration of that team a little while ago, or last weekend. Not even a little while ago, just last weekend. Got that feeling to it. And again, I know that's a phrase that sometimes can get overused in Cardinal Nation, saying, oh, you can't compare every single team to 2011. And I know that, but this team is clicking right now. This offense is coming together. Tyler O'Neill is probably going to be a 30 home run guy. He's got 28 right now. Paul Goldschmidt's creeping up there as well. He's got 27. Nolan Arenado has 30 home runs. Cardinals have a chance to have 3 players with 30 or more home runs. It's not something that the Cardinals have had recently. It's not. I mean, they haven't had a 100 RBI guy since 2012 when Matt Holliday did it, up until this season with Nolan Arenado's 100-plus RBI campaign. When you have Goldschmidt, O'Neill, and Arenado 2, 3, 4, when they're swinging the bat like they are right now, that is a lethal, deadly lineup. Just a gauntlet. Just a gauntlet of players to go through. And you got Edman at the top. Don't want to forget about him either. And again, the Cardinals might lose today. They might lose. The chances are they're going to lose before the season is over. Hope I'm not shattering anybody's dreams or making anybody too frustrated with that statement. So I know that this team is not a perfect team. You could make very good arguments and probably be correct in saying there are plenty of playoff teams better than the St. Louis Cardinals. But I truly believe that the Cardinals are a type of team that nobody wants to play come October. Nobody. I know that I cover the Cardinals every day, might be biased towards them, but I know I wouldn't want to play the Cardinals. Not right now, especially. You've got a starter pretty much every night. It's going to give you a pretty good start, and you've got an offense that is absolutely demolishing the baseball right now. Just murdering it. Night in and night out. For the most part. Timing. Timing is everything in baseball, whether you're talking about release point on the throw to the plate, whether you're talking about from a starting pitching standpoint or a pitching standpoint, from the timing of when you release to when you let go, timing at the plate. Timing is everything within a game. Timing on a relay throw to the plate, timing on getting a jump from stealing first to second base. Timing is also everything in the grand scheme of baseball when you get hot. 11-game win streak in April is not the same as an 11-game win streak in September, especially when you're in a position like the Cardinals are. Yes, that's still 11 games that you've won. It still counts as just 11 wins in April or September. But it's what comes after September that makes that September 11-game winning streak so much more important. What comes after September? October baseball. Postseason baseball. You want to get hot at the right time. This Cardinal team is doing that. Even if they go and lose a couple more games, which they probably will before season's end, this team is still getting hot at the right time and are going to give their best effort in crashing the postseason party. It's a glorious thing to watch. Some people might get upset with it. They call it the Cardinals black magic or the Cardinals devil magic, one of the two things. It's just glorious to watch if you've been covering this team and following this team a while. Saw a tweet, I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but saying that the struggles in June and the wretched baseball, the awful baseball that we have seen as people who follow the Cardinals day in and day out, make this September push, this September run that much more glorious, impressive, and fun and exciting to watch. Got to take one more quick break, give kind of my recap thoughts on the series talk about tomorrow's game, and also announce a special bonus episode that is going to come your way tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that in segment number 3. But first, I want to tell you about BetOnline.ag. Football season is just about in full swing. Teams are getting back out there, pro, college, and BetOnline.ag is your number one spot for betting on pro and college action this season. They have a new updated interface with more props, more odds, more contests for you to win money. BetOnline.ag continues to be the number one stop for everything football. And right now, when you sign up and use promo code NFL100, you get a 100% welcome bonus. That's right, you get double your initial deposit by signing up today. NFL100 at BetOnline.ag. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, boxing, or your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait and be sure to take advantage of the amazing offers available for the 2021 football season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sports book experts. This episode is also brought to you in part today by RockAuto.com. It's almost impossible now to get everything you need in one easy trip when you're talking about car parts. Every single dealership has their own local spot, their own individual pricing. You've got to wait for somebody else behind the counter to search in their specific database. No more. Save time and money with using rockauto.com. They've an online family business serving customers for over 20 years. Whether you're a professional or do-it-yourselfer, get everything you need at rockauto.com, from brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, even new carpet. So what are you waiting for? Go to rockauto.com today and get all the parts you will ever need for your car or truck. In their How Did You Hear About Us box, be sure to write Locked On so they know that we sent you. RockAuto.com, amazing selection, amazing prices, all the parts your car will ever need at RockAuto.com. 11 games is a lot to win for the St. Louis Cardinals, and they are just 3 games away from their longest winning streak in franchise history. Cardinals Gifts tweeting out an image that was shown during the game, the longest streaks in Cardinals history. 11 games in August 2021, 11 games here in this month, 12 in July of 1943, 12 in April of 1982, and 14 in July of 1935. So some pretty good teams, pretty exciting teams on that list. Cardinals are just 3 games away, and they're going to have a really good shot at getting win number 12 tomorrow when Adam Wainwright starts. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But this winning streak, it's fun, it's glorious. Context, though, that I mentioned that this streak is being made so much more important to Cardinal fans because of what Cardinal fans witnessed throughout this year and how the Cardinals kind of scratched and clawed their way back and how that much more meaningful. Context, we can celebrate the wonderfulness, the entirety of the wonderfulness later. But right now, you need to be focused on the fact that October baseball does come next. And that means that October baseball will matter for the St. Louis Cardinals. Looking to make their 3rd straight postseason run. They made it in 2020 last year, and looking to make it this year again. They have not clinched that postseason spot yet, but nevertheless, they're inching that way. So check it one game, the cliche of taking it one game at a time. And again, not that the Cardinals need to win out, but this winning streak, while fun and exciting and glorious, and I've talked for just over 23 minutes of how fun and glorious it's been to watch this team play, also need to keep in mind that this is not the end game. Breaking the franchise record for winning streak is going to be incredibly impressive if that happens. But obviously the end game would be October baseball and having a deep, successful run in October baseball. Adam Wainwright getting the start at 110 today for the St. Louis Cardinals, so you feel really good about the Cardinals' chances in winning their 12th game. So I'm not going to say that I don't feel good about it. 110 is the first pitch for today's game between the Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers, 110 Central Time. Adam Wainwright versus Adrian Hauser. Hauser coming off his shutout performance against the Cardinals in his most recent start against the Redbirds. So the Cardinals will try and right the ship there and have a better outing against Hauser, whereas Wainwright will try and continue his success for the season as he continues to strengthen his Cy Young case. And again, when I say that, I don't mean that he should win Cy Young, but Adam Wainwright deserves some votes. The post-game show will be up and running tomorrow. I'm going to have a quick 10 to 15-minute bonus episode about talking about Thursday's game, and then Friday's episode will be out on time in the morning talking about the upcoming series against the Cubs. So bonus episode, tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe on YouTube, hit that bell to let you know when the show goes live, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, leave a rating, tell your friends and family. Again, bonus episode coming out after the game on Thursday, that is today, and then a regular scheduled episode coming out on Friday, previewing the Chicago Cubs series. That's going to do it for today's show. If you want a recap on it, just know this. Mikolas needs to continue to giving the Cardinals the kind of starts he gave them on Wednesday. Offense is clicking at the right time, and they cannot take the pedal off the metal now as the Cardinals look for a series sweep against the Milwaukee Brewers on Thursday. Be sure to listen to Locked On Bets to win yourself some money. Follow me at LJ Fastball on Twitter. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at LO_Cardinals. You can email the show anytime at lockedoncards@gmail.com. Until I talk to you guys a little bit later on today, post-game, after the Cardinals and Brewers play their 110 game, be sure to stay safe, stay well, and have a fantastic rest of your day.